See, and I'm a speed flex guy. Because number one, lineman background, you want that in the front. Even over, and I actually, you know what? To be honest, of the three, the most comfortable is Visus.
Absolutely.
I would say Visus is the most comfortable, but
Yeah.
I pick speed flex still, and I always do this when I'm looking at new helmets. I look at the face mask options, and
Yeah.
like by far, Riddell has the most different styles of non-custom face masks that you can just pick up for the helmet. Like Visus's are still pretty limited. Schutt, especially for lineman face masks, you have like 1, 2 options. Where like Riddell, you have like 15 different options. If you're a lineman, you have your different receiver options. You do have your eye guard options. Like there's a lot more. And like I always do that. Whenever a new helmet comes out, I always look. I'm like, hey, what do you got for face masks? And like generally, like new helmets, like Light has like 3 face masks. Schutt has
Mm.
like, and it's not really hard to figure out the math on this as far as like scale of a company. Like Riddell has the most face masks, Schutt has the second most, then it would be Visus, and then it would be Light, and then like somewhere in the mix is Zenith, but like no one really does. Sometimes the Zenith face mask can be like odd ones to begin with. So
Mm-hmm.
like I don't really know where they sit on that scale, but like Riddell is king when it comes to like non custom face mask options, like buy it right off the shelf.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, that kind of leads us into another thing we want to talk about. Should we skip around to, what Shutt's doing right now?
Sure. Another
Cool.
reason why Badass Masks is once again pissed.
It's a good segue, Devin.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's funny. Well, it's not funny for him. It's frankly shitty for him, but there's really nothing he can do about it. And that's that Schutt is going to be offering more of the EGOP style face masks. So basically what happened was we talked about this. We've talked about this a lot this year. A lot of the guys in the NFL have started to wear these like jagged barred face masks. So guys like Travis Kelce, Isaiah Pacheco, a ton of guys on the Chiefs, and probably because they're talking to each other. So they've switched from like a standard kind of bar on their face mask here where it goes straight down eye guard. But this year, a lot of them are wearing like jagged eye guards, and you've seen this a lot across the league. Now, when this started, it was Badass Masks going in. Did he leave a comment? He didn't. So and basically just making these customs for these guys, and then it like picks up and gets popular, and then Schutt, goes in and basically says, "Hey, we're going to offer this as a style to the public." So it kind of just depends on what side of the fence you sit on, because like, number one, Badass Masks made it popular this year and was doing it and obviously getting the business from it, and that's cool. So then you kind of look at it from like, oh, like this big company ripped off his idea and now they're doing it. But also at the same time, unless that big company does it, it doesn't get accessible and affordable to the public. So again, it's kind of, tricky. Doesn't matter how you look at this. Like, I still think it's great that Schutt is doing this. They've seen the popularity. They've figured out a way to manufacture it, do it, and like bring it to market like relatively fast, considering how slow these companies can move sometimes. So I still think it's cool that they basically came out with this EGOP 3 style is what they're calling it. And it's identical to kind of what's being worn here. What do you guys think?
One thing I'm noticing, just looking at your post right there, is that the mask, like the stock photo that Shutt posted of the mask, the eye guards look different than the ones that we see on Travis Kelce and Isaiah Pacheco. Do you notice that
Yeah.
as well? Like the bar is like cut right in the middle, and then on the Chiefs
They look
guys, it's
sharp.
like kind of lower at the bottom and like tapered
Yeah.
a little bit more. So
Yeah, the bend is definitely a little different. And how they're doing it. And maybe that's part of it. I'm not quite sure again how much goes into it, but like I do know that the ones on the Chiefs are made by Badass Masks. And some other popular players are wearing ones made by him as well, or were to start the year. So it could be one of those same things where, they have their OG ones and they're happy with it. And then, the equipment manager goes back and now goes to Schutt directly and says, give me more. And they'll look a little different. And probably the guys won't even notice, to be honest.
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
not. I got a question regarding the eye guards things for face masks, because I've been wondering for a while. Whenever people wear eye guards, I mean, aside from aesthetics, obviously the point of eye guards is to have that just little bit of protection right here, kind of closer to your eyes. Is to prevent like from fingers and hands getting in towards the eyes, right?
I would think so.
Sort of.
The actual
Like
code
that.
EGOP actually stands for eye guard and oral protection. So that's like the goal of
Okay.
the mask is to protect up here and down here. I think. So I think
So
that's the goal.
on top of that, they have that, and then players also wear a visor. It's like kind of counterproductive.
Yeah.
Not really. It just adds more protection to it, but it's like it's a looks thing at that point, right?
Yeah, at that point, that bar is not really going to do much as far as protection because you already have the visor there. Personally, I love how it looks, so that's why I would
Yeah.
do it. But you are
Exactly.
right. Like having both of them doesn't really make a ton of sense.
I've
Yeah.
always just wondered that, just because like I figured the eye guards were for protection, and I also the visor obviously is for protection, and
Yeah.
most players
Well,
will probably say
but
they
it's
wear it
also
for
like-
protection, but yeah,
here we go.
it's also all right. Here's our weekly Tony up from the chair around the studio.
Yes,
He's
sir.
got a face mask in his left hand.
So this one has like obviously become more popular with linemen. So this
Yeah.
is the SF TEG dot or I guess slash or hash or whatever you want to call it, TX. SF.2EG slash TX, which basically stands for speed flax. 2EG stands for the two eye guards. And then
Okay.
the
I'm glad you're breaking
TX
this down.
stands for the Texas. That's what this is called, the Texas style. It's the identical style that's actually on this one here. That's the Texas. Basically just means slanted bars. So I think though the reason is they like offer it in this style because like they're under the assumption that like, oh, like we're gonna have put eye guards on it to make it more like less open.
It's
But
pretty
in
open.
reality, it's still too open where they do wear it with a visor. So it's kind of like they're trying to do it themselves, but also like the players like you're not doing enough, and so we have to like I think really this would be not more popular, but yeah, regardless of if these eye guards were here, it's a super popular lineman face mask, and it's always being worn with a visor, so they would wear it with a visor, or like they would wear this with a visor regardless of if these eye guards were here.
Right.
Like they're not really doing as much as you might think.
No.
You know.
I mean, it's like they're out here.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like,
Yep.
I don't know. I've always wondered that.
But anyways, so if you guys do want to pick that one up, like I said, it's on Schutt's website now. I'm not sure if it's actually at other retailers like Green Gridiron, Sports Unlimited, League Outfitters, any of these kind of companies that sell their face masks as well. I don't actually know if it's there, but obviously Schutt was promoting it on their socials as available, so I'm assuming it's available on Schutt's website right now. For you know what?
Yeah,
Actually,
before
I don't
the
even know
show-
how much are they charging for this thing.
Before the show, I just Googled Schutt, and one of those masks with the slanted eye guards came up from League Outfitters for I think $90. So not
Really?
too bad. Yeah, pretty affordable. I mean, it's normal for like a regular standard mask from a company. It's not as much as like the customs from Badass Masks and Green Gridiron where they're like 300. So it's affordable and it's cool. So thumbs up for me.
Go get you
Let's
one.
see. Yeah, F7 EGOP 3-NB/BC, and it is $72.
It's even cheaper.
That's not bad
Nice.
at all. Yeah.
That's a
Oh, I didn't even
steal.
hear. I'm not even sharing my screen.
We'll have to take your word for it.
Where is it? There it is. Yeah, so here it is here. Available in carbon steel. Titanium is obviously a lot more expensive, $200.
Yeah.
The guys that Travis Kelce and Pacheco's would probably be titanium. I don't really know how that works with Badass Masks. If he can build out of titanium, I have no clue.
Probably.
But yeah, it's definitely like a little bit different here. Like you can see, like Devin said, theirs are
Yeah.
it's kind of lower and at less of an angle, where this is definitely a little more aggressive, and the it's up here, so
Yeah.
a little different.
Yeah, these
and I
eye
was
guards are
actually
more
looking-
like the ones on the Riddell masks.
Yeah.
They're a lot closer to that than the ones actually on the F7 masks that we've seen.
That's a good point. I actually kind of lied. I didn't realize how many face mask options Schutt has now. They have like every style as equivalent to Riddell. But
Does
I
that mean
just
you're
like
swapping
Riddell's.
to F7?
No. I still like Riddell's a little more. Something about maybe even it's the photos of them like not on a helmet that they just, I don't know. It feels like there's so much going on, so many little bars, so many stuff.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I do think Riddell has better face masks. They just look better.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because the SpeedFlex has 4 different connecting points, and a lot of the ones you're just showing only have the 2 up top.
Feels kind of old schooly.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I mean, I
Yeah.
like it, but that's just me.
Yeah, I get it. But yeah, so that's that. What do we got next?
Well,
So
speaking
you
of
want to
old
talk about some
schooly,
more old school? There you go.
I can keep talking. I'll talk all news session here. So the next thing, this one's actually interesting, and it's kind of around like a larger